Hi. Do you all remember a few years back when Mayor Bloomberg of New York City tried to pass a ban on drinking over 16 ounces of sugary soda? He had lots of data to back up what he knew and what he was saying, what he claimed that sugar causes obesity. And for the health of the New Yorkers, he wanted to ban it in sports stadiums, convenience stores, gas stations, etc. Well, it got shot down. It never came to pass, but they were very divided on that. There were groups that absolutely backed the mayor in this, and then there were groups that were totally against this. But as I was reading today's scripture passage, it reminded me of this. It reminded me that the mayor thought that he knew what was the amount of soft drinks that people should drink. And today in our passage, we're in 1 Corinthians chapter 8, right at the very beginning. The Apostle Paul is asked a question by the church in Corinth. There's two different groups there. They're divided once again. And one group feels very differently than the other group. And the question was this: is it okay for us to eat meat or the food that is sacrificed on the altars to idols? One group said, why not? We don't believe in that anymore. We know that the one true God reigns. We know that these idols are not alive. They're just a block of rock or stone. So to be afraid to eat it might say that we still worship or we still think there's something to it. The other group, they said, we're not comfortable with that. We've had all these generations of idol worship and sacrificing to these idols. And so we're afraid that if we do eat it, it will say to people that we condone idol worship. So they're not comfortable eating it. And so Apostle Paul has to address this. And, in the Bible, there are things that are very clear what is sin and what is not sin. But there's also things that we're not so sure about. There's issues that aren't always so cut and dry, so black and white. And so this is what Paul says to the church in Corinth. His response is, we all possess knowledge, but knowledge puffs up. Love builds up. And that's the verse I want to stick on today. That's the verse that spoke to me. Paul warns us to be very careful that in our knowing, in all the knowledge that we possess and how we learn and how we grow, we may be a few steps ahead of someone else. We may be more mature. We may have more information. He says, be careful with that so that what you know does not puff you up, does not result in you being prideful or feel like you know more or better than other people. And so the question that I had for myself today was this: do I respond to these kind of situations? Do I respond with what I know, or do I respond with love? Do I respond with what I know, or do I respond with love? Because I don't want to be a Christian who loves being right more than she loves people. I want to not be a know-it-all and make other people be know-nothings, as the message puts it. I want to be a follower of Christ that always shows grace and puts love first. So I hope that helps you today, and I hope it encourages you. And I just want to thank you for spending this time with me in the Word.